Welcome to GiGi Eats Celebrities. Obviously, I'm GiGi, the girl who loves to stuff those celebrities in her mouth. Today, I have a guest that could certainly make my celebrity feast taste far more delicious. Emmy Award winner and the host of Giada at Home and one of my favorite shows on television, the next Food Network star, the pinup girl for foodies worldwide, Giada De Laurentiis. You are absolutely stunning. I mean, I've seen you on television all the time, but in person, you're the same, and it's wonderful. Obviously, Clairol thinks so as well, which is why you're their spokesmodel. I know that you're a big fan of coconut oil. I read that somewhere.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I wonder where.
I know.
Yes.
But would you put it in your hair? Just take a glob out of the thing and put it all over your hair?
No. What I would do is put it on the ends. Because it's too heavy to put all over your hair. And depending on the type of hair you have, you can or can't do that. I cannot do that. Because I have a lot of hair, but it's fine. So it'll weigh it down, just like conditioner too. Yeah. I can't do conditioner from the top to the bottom. Otherwise, it'll be so flat.
I don't even use conditioner in my hair.
Yeah, and some people don't have to. I have to because it just goes through too much.
Yeah.
To not use conditioner, so I condition the ends. So I use coconut oil on the ends.
Nice.
Yes.
You obviously also use it when you cook.
Well, having said that, I like to use it. I have this nut mix that I make, and I use different kinds of nuts. Today we used cashews and sunflower seeds, but there's times where I make it with almonds or walnuts or whatever. So I take a tablespoon of coconut oil and a tablespoon of maple syrup, and I heat it together. Because you know, when you buy coconut oil, it's white. It's like a white paste, so you need to heat it up to get it into a liquid form.
My mom keeps it in the refrigerator, so we have to like take a knife and jab at it.
To do that. I think people feel like everything should go in the fridge all the time, you know. But you don't need to do that. Just in a dark place is all good, in the cupboard. Anyhow, you heat it up and you toss it with the nuts, the raw nuts. And I put some shaved coconut on it as well. And then I put it on a cookie sheet and I bake it 375 for about 15 minutes. And it makes for the greatest snacks ever. And I make it as a snack for myself, for my daughter. I throw it in my purse so I'm not choking on chicken. I can't think of anything like, oh, no. So I just do a handful of that. Nice amount of protein, good fats for your body, and satisfying, and really tasty. Yeah. So I use it in that. I use it in salad dressings. I use it in smoothies. My daughter loves pasta with butter and Parmesan cheese. Yeah. So now I've switched to pasta with coconut oil and Parmesan cheese and toss it all together. It gives it a slightly sweet kind of fruity flavor, which she really likes. So I do all sorts of things with it.
Do you use the mild flavored one, or do you use the full one?
No, I use the mild flavored.
Yeah, that's what we use too at my house.
I when I'm traveling, put it in a little container because I use it on my lips at night to moisturize. Yeah. I use it on my cuticles and my fingernails, and I use it on my feet and my toenails and any calluses I might have from wearing heels as well. You get that. And if I feel really dry, I exfoliate my face and then I put it on the dry spots on my face and bed.
Have you ever experienced acne with that? Because I put it all over my face before and I started breaking out.
You can't put it all over your face. You gotta just put it on the dry spots.
Great, I ruined it.
Yeah, so you don't put it all over your face, but I never had acne. That's not I have dry skin. Parts that I find get dry are right here, cheekbones, and sometimes forehead. Yeah. So that's usually where I use it. And I will use it on my neck and my chest. Okay. It's very thin skin. Yeah. And so that stuff dries out really quickly, especially when I travel, because when I travel, it's so dehydrating. Yeah, of course, in the airplanes, all over recycled air and stuff like that. Correct. So, speaking of recipes and all that good stuff, if you and Alton Brown and Bobby Flay, your co-host on the next Food Network star, were put up against each other in like an Iron Chef-like competition, who do you think would win? Secret ingredient, wild boar. Well, you know who would win. Who has had the most practice in an Iron Chef kitchen? Yeah, well, you know. So, having said that, a long time ago, I did Iron Chef, and it was Bobby Flay and myself together as a team against Mario Batali and Rachel Ray. Was this like a Christmas special or something? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember. Lost. Okay. So, yeah, I don't think, I have very big fears of that Iron Kitchen. But when it comes to wild boar, I think that Alton Brown would probably make the most creative dish by far and would give you a whole history on wild boar. I would probably make ravioli stuffed with wild boar. I can see that. And God only knows what Bobby would do. I wouldn't even want to speak for him. I just want to see a really delicious burger. I had the wild boar for the first time like 2 weeks ago. I'm in heaven. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. It's good. I think for a lot of people, they just don't want to know what it is. Yeah. If you tell them after they've eaten it, they're going for it. I feel like people get confused though because it's like boar versus pig, and you're like, wait, aren't they the same thing? Right. I don't know. It takes a minute for them to think about that. Absolutely. So do you have a little sympathy for the contestants on the next Food Network star? I don't know who ever wants to put themselves through that. Honestly, I think I truly think, although they've become more savvy over the years because they watch the show, I think they don't realize what it is until they're there. I've had so many of them say to me like, oh my God, this is so much harder. Yeah. Why is this so hard? I'm like, because it is hard. Because talking in front of the camera and telling a story and doing your demo and remembering all the steps and remembering measurements is very difficult. Yeah. And you've got to be able to, fire on many different cylinders. And we're watching you. Yeah, exactly. So it's even more, stressful. I feel really bad for them. I really feel bad for them when I have to send them home. I mean, I really feel bad sending them home because you feel like you're crushing someone's dream, for Christ's sake. So,
I watched Sunday night's episode last night. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I loved Lovely, and I'm like, no. But she was like, this is not the end of me. I'm like, okay, I hope to see you again soon.
You keep watching.
Yeah. Oh.
Lovely is lovely.
Yeah, I agree.
But Lovely also has an act. Mm-hmm. And the problem is, as judges, we have seen both sides of it.
Yeah, you guys seemed like she
puts it on when she's on camera, and then the minute she's off of camera, she's a different person.
Yeah.
And that, to me,
isn't a no-go.
Well, no, because on Food Network, you got to be what you are. Like,
exactly.
When people meet you in person, you got to be the same person you're on camera. Mm-hmm. If you're not, people see through that. And eventually, they're done with you.
Exactly.
They see your act. We're not acting here. We're supposed to be ourselves.
Exactly.
So she's got a whole shtick going. So there's something else going on with Lovely.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
She wasn't ready to share.
We'll see.
I like people who share.
I went to the burger bath, actually. I was there. And I had Nikki's burger, and you guys hated it. I loved it.
You were there? Oh, my God!
I was in the audience.
What we didn't like about it. I'm trying to think what was it exactly that we didn't like about it.
She downplays the vegetables so much.
Yeah,
she's always like,
stop doing that. It's annoying.
I love vegetables. Like, let's be real.
I know, but if you're going to try to successfully sell somebody on something, the more you downplay it, the less attractive it becomes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that.
I know. Sell the eggplant.
If I'm trying to sell you clairol or coconut oil and I downplay it and I don't up it and tell you all these wonderful things about it, you're going to be like,
then what's the point?
Why are you here?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the point. So I said, if this is going to be your point of view, that's awesome, but you got to sell me on it.
Yeah.
And if you're not confident on it, selling me on it, then I'm not going to want to taste your burger.
I wouldn't be a good judge.
But compare it to some of the other ones, which we tasted all of them.
Of course.
It didn't hold up. That's the problem.
Speaking of tasting all of them, how do you keep such a nice figure by eating all of that food?
Yes, the number one asked question.
Always, of course, I know.
Always.
Well, everyone wants to have your bod, so come on.
Well, yeah, and I think we stereotype people who like food are supposed to be a certain size.
Yeah, can we trust a skinny chef?
Exactly. So, having said that, I would say it's all about moderation. I eat everything, I just don't eat a lot of it. If you start to deprive yourself and you call it a diet, you'll never stick to it. You'll be yo-yoing your whole life.
I always tell people call it a lifestyle. I'm big into health and nutrition. Everyone has this portion distortion. I mean,
well, yeah, but look at it when we go to a restaurant. It's all you can eat. The most popular restaurants are like the main courses are ginormous. If you eat all of that on a regular basis, what do you think is going to happen?
Exactly.
You can't eat all of that. So you can have the things you love, but in moderation, in small amounts. So I said to her, the best thing you can do for yourself is learn the portion sizes.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be automatic, and it'll be part of your life, and you won't ever have to deprive yourself of anything.
Never.
And if you have a little too much one day, then just make sure the next day
exactly
scale it back.
And go for an extra walk or something like that.
Like move.
I know, everyone just sits in front of their computer. That's the problem.
Move. If you can just move a little bit and not eat as much, you'll be a much happier person, healthier.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite restaurant in LA that I should go to? Because tomorrow's my birthday. So.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
I do. I have a couple of faves. I'll say that Capo in Santa Monica is one of my favorites. Okay. Very small. Have you tried Viva Bella?
I have not.
Try it.
Okay.
It's really great bar scene, too.
Okay.
And attached to it, there's a really funky, cool Chinese restaurant.
Oh, really?
Super cool. I mean, when you walk in there, you will see what I mean.
Okay, cool.
It's really psychedelic and super cool. So they're attached to each other, and it's right off, you know where the Soho House is?
Yes.
Okay, in Boa, across the street.
Okay, cool.
On Sunset.
Perfect.
In Doheny.
I know exactly where that is.
It's super. If you eat at Riva Bella, try to eat outside, okay? Because they have a receding ceiling.
Oh, very cool.
They have a great bar, and then right next door to it, literally, you can just walk into Riva Bella, make a left, and there's the entrance to the Chinese restaurant, which is super cool too. So take a peek in there. If you don't eat in there, just take a peek.
I'll just have to do it 2 nights in a row.
Yeah,
why not?
Take a look. It's super fun. It's super fun. Your
daughter Jade obviously keeps you really, really active when you're not working full time, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any tips or tricks for moms who work full-time and they want to, feed their daughters healthfully or sons healthfully?
I think it's all about planning and planning your meals. So a lot of times, I try to prep stuff on a Sunday. So what I do is I make like 2 different types of pastas, and then maybe a chicken dish and either a fish dish or a chicken dish and a meat dish, and then a couple of different vegetables. And I cook everything off, no sauces, no oils, no sauces. Everything's kind of plain. And then I just take a little bit of things, like a little bit of pasta, a little bit of a protein, a little bit of greens, and I put it in a little skillet with some olive oil, coconut oil, whatever, and heat it up and feed it to her. And so it's really about prepping and making sure that you have a combo of dishes and things that you can keep in the fridge for a few days so they don't have to cook from scratch every single day. It's transforming the meal into something else. Like, a lot of times when I was a kid, my mom would make a pasta dish, and then the next day she would toss it with some eggs and a little more Parmesan cheese and put it in a skillet and sort of fry it up like a frittata, but made of pasta and whatever the ingredients were in there.
Sounds really
so it's
good.
about recreating meals, truly, to make life super easy when you don't have a lot of time. But people who love to cook, I think that they take the extra minute to kind of do it every day, but there's a lot of people who like to cook, but not regularly, so it's all about planning meals ahead of time.
Exactly. I'm like a big blogger, and everyone does this like meal prep Monday or meal prep Sunday, and I really see it as super important. I mean, they stick everything in the freezer, and it's good to go.
It's true, but that helps. Yeah. And it depends, when you have some time off. Sundays, to me, are the day that I do it all. Yeah. Because Mondays are hard for me because I work. But on Sundays, I go to the grocery store, and I'll take my daughter, and we'll pick things, and she'll pick ingredients, I'll pick ingredients, and then we make stuff. And it sits. And by Thursday, I usually have to cook something else, or we go out to eat.
Exactly.
So it really works out well, but it takes a little bit of planning. It does. You got to invest in yourself. Yeah. And since we got to live in this body and in this shell till
it's important
our time's up.
Exactly.
It's important to take time to take care of that. And food is a big part of that, whether we want to believe it or not.
Oh, no, we should believe it. Everything focuses around food. Let's be real. I'm obsessed.
We need to eat to live, right? So
exactly.
Even though you like to eat chicken and choke on it while you're driving, most people will sit down and enjoy a meal.
Yeah, I live to eat, let's be real. So I have a bit of a little lightning round question segment for you.
Okay.
So, who would you rather take a bite out of? Jack Nicholson or Gary Busey?
Jack Nicholson. I don't really want to be near Gary Busey. Thank you. No thanks.
What would you make if you had olives, turkey deli meat, and an eggplant?
Ooh, I'd chop up the turkey deli meat and olives, and I'd scoop out the eggplant, and I'd put it in there and roast it in the oven with a little bit of olive oil.
Sounds really good. And which celebrity would you like to lick olive oil off of?
Are you going to give me choices?
Nope.
Oh. Well, which celebrity is it dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yep.
All right, a little girl crush. Sure.
Cool.
Well, sounds good
there
to me.
Because if I say any guy at all, it'll be misconstrued. So I stick with a dead female because I'm safe in there.
Exactly. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
That was super
and
fun.
Dude, I now have a crush on you.
Yeah.
Although I won't lick olive oil off of you.
That is really funny.